Hey everyone, welcome back. If you are here from my first two videos, if you haven't seen them, this is part 3 of a 3, possibly 4-part perfume video. And in these videos, I am just going alphabetically through all of my perfumes and showing you what I have. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you letters R through Z. And then possibly in the 4th video, if you all do want a 4th video, I will be showing you my fragrances that I have, that are travel size. I'm not including those. These are all just full size fragrances in the first 3 videos. So if you're wondering why I'm going through and quickly showing you all of these fragrances, it's essentially because this year I plan on cutting back on my fragrances as far as how many I'm buying, but also how many I currently have. I obviously cannot go through that many fragrances. And as somebody who wears fragrance every single day, I have found that even if I were to wear it every single day with the amount that I spray, I would only be able to go through about 3 bottles a year. So I do like to have a variety, but I feel like I am also overwhelmed with the amount of variety that I currently have. So after I do this video where I am going through alphabetically and just showing you what I have, I am then going to go through and sort my fragrances by like scent type. So maybe put all my neroli fragrances together, all my vanilla fragrances together, and then just choose the best of the best, maybe like a favorite for each season, and then kind of declutter the rest. So that's kind of what we're doing. And I thought maybe you guys are nosy like I am. I like to see what other people have in their fragrance collections, and I like to hear them talk about it. I'm not going into a whole lot of detail here talking about each fragrance because there are a lot. Any videos that I have already done on these fragrances, I will have linked below or up here in the eye. I don't know how many they allow me to put in the video, but I'll try to put as many as I can. And we'll go ahead and just get started now. So I'm going to jump into the R fragrances. And the first one is called Raghba. I think, is it Raghba? I don't know. I'll have to ask somebody who knows how to pronounce things. But this is a beautiful sort of incensey, resinous type of fragrance. I think it probably has a hint of oud in it. It's very beautiful. It's sweet and smoky at the same time. It's absolutely gorgeous. This reminds me a ton of incense in the best way. And this also reminds me a lot of my Lancôme that I showed in the last video, the Oud Bouquet. If you were looking for an alternative to that, maybe try this out. They're not exact. There are differences, but I think if you like that one, you'll like this one. And this one is much more affordable. So I have 2 fragrances from a company called Rhodes, and I have never heard anybody else ever talk about these. I actually found them a long time ago when I was looking online to see what fragrances TJ Maxx and Marshalls had online. And I found these on there, and they were a little bit pricey for TJ Maxx and Marshalls fragrances. But I then went and I Googled them. I was like, why are they like so pricey? Like, what's the deal with these? I Googled them and I'm like, I am going to love those scents. So I went ahead and I got both of them. This one is called Clockwork and this one is called Lights. And I don't know if they still make either of these, but I do know that all of the images that I found online of Lights, only when they first came out with the fragrance was it this blood red color, and now it's a much lighter color that's more translucent like this. So I thought that was really interesting, and I haven't worn them a whole lot, but I'm also afraid to kind of spray this. You can even see on the nozzle, like it's definitely a red perfume, and I'm always afraid I'm going to stain my clothes with it. So that's probably also why they changed it. It smells beautiful though. It is very potent, but I definitely would not spray it directly on your clothes. So now we are into the S's. I have a couple of fragrances from Sarah Jessica Parker. This first one is lovely, and this is just like a white musk fragrance essentially. At least that's what it smells like to me. It smells very 90s, but it's like light and airy. It's not a favorite of mine, but I keep it around because I feel like it's a lot of people's favorite, so I try to make myself like it. But we'll kind of see. You can find it pretty affordably. And then this one is more elusive. It's a little bit harder to find. And this is Stash by Sarah Jessica Parker. I do have a backup of this and also the body oil. I love this one. It's a dry, crisp sort of woody scent. It's absolutely gorgeous. This smells like a niche fragrance, and when I bought it, I got it on clearance, and I got it on clearance at Ulta, I believe, and I guess it wasn't a lot of people's bag of tea, but bag of tea? Is that a saying? Did I just make that up? What? Cup of tea. Okay. Either way, I got it on discount at Ulta. I absolutely loved it, and then when I found out that they were discontinuing it, and that's why I got it on discount at Ulta. And here's the thing is, I don't know if it's even discontinued, because I have seen it on websites still, and I got this probably 6 or 7 years ago now. I have no idea. And I still see people buying it. I just know it's hard to find. So there's that. I have two from Serge Lutens. I have Bois Vanille, and this is a gorgeous sort of deep, creamy vanilla scent. And then I have Datura Noir, which this is a gorgeous sort of, what floral is that? I talked about this the other day in a video and I completely forget the floral note, but this is a deep sort of floral. I like to wear this in the winter. It's also obviously noir. It's a good night scent. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I have quite a few Solstice scents. Perfumes, and I am also going to go grab their glacés, which I have with my body sprays, but I feel like they're just as strong as a lot of other perfumes out there. So hold on a second. Okay, so I will start with the glacés. So these are Bath and Body oils that you spray essentially like right after you get out of the bath. And the scent though is so strong that these wear just as long, if not longer, than the perfumes I have. They have them in like kind of body spray sorts of containers, but again, like I said, they wear just as long as a perfume. So I have Snow Mint Mallow, which is a sort of marshmallow peppermint scent. It's very uplifting. It's comforting for bed because you have like that mint smell mixed with the sweet marshmallow. So I absolutely love that one. And then I have Camp Willow, which is a beautiful sort of, again, I like marshmallow. Let me respray this right now. And the thing, it smells like fish, but I know Camp Willow doesn't smell like fish. Yeah, it's a smoky scent. I have no idea. Maybe it just dried there. Yeah, it's a beautiful smoky scent. It's much smokier than, I would say, the replica by the fireplace. So, yeah, but it's a sweet. It literally smells like a campfire. And then I have this one called Lavender Vanilla. And I have this also in the perfume. But it is the sweetest, most candied lavender smell I have smelled. And then here is the perfume that I have called Lavender Vanilla. And I find it so interesting on the perfumes. Each one has like a different sort of drawing on there. But then on these glacés, they all have, at least the ones that I have, they all have the same sort of drawing on there, which all the drawings are pen and ink, and it's a very distinct kind of style. And I'm guessing it's, I think, is her name Angela St. John's? I mean, I need to be with Amy to talk about this, but, which by the way, Amy and I did a video where we combined all of our scents between the two of us that we own from Solstice Scents, and it was like close to 100 scents that we smelled. So if you want to kind of give our opinion on those and you were wondering what they smell like, I will leave that linked for you. But either way, my friend Amy is kind of the expert as far as Solstice Scents is concerned. She's the one who got me into the brand. Either way, all of the bottles and all this stuff have these beautiful pen and ink drawings and that handwriting. And at first I thought it was a font, but when you purchase from them, they kind of give you like either you can tell that they do photography and stuff too for a lot of these campaigns that they do for their perfumes. And it said on the card, "Thank you, Autumn," in the same handwriting. So whoever is drawing these and doing the writing is also helping to package, which I love. It feels like you're buying from a small business. I'm sure they have like quite a few people working there. But it just feels so personal as far as the fragrances are concerned. Either way, let's get into the other ones. This one is called Rose Custard Kulfi, and smells so good. It's interesting because it has, I want to say cardamom in it. I could be wrong, so now I'm gonna have to Google, but it's got a sweet sort of rose scent, but then mixed with a spice. Yeah, it's cardamom. I don't know why I doubted myself. But yeah, it's custard, sugar, coconut, cardamom, rose water, dates, vanilla, pistachio, lime peel, and saffron. It is so pretty, and it doesn't smell overly sugary, overly sweet, because it has the cardamom in it, and it just kind of gives it a really interesting sort of effect. My bottle, you can see here, is like leaking, so I can always like smell this. I have to keep it upright, so I obviously can't travel with it. I think it's like leaking out of the thing here. Maybe I could probably adjust that though. And I don't know why I haven't thought to do that yet. I'm sure it's something I've done. We'll see if that fixes it. But the thing is, these fragrances are so strong. It's like a one spray situation. You don't want to go overboard with these, or maybe you do. But like, these perfumes are so strong. They're about between, I would say, I don't know, like 85 to 125, depending on the ones you get. But they are so potent. They're way more potent than the fragrances that like you would get at a retailer. So I did just kind of want to point that out. Like, they are definitely potent. And then I also have Rose Mallow Cream. Gorgeous. It really is like rose and marshmallow. Again, it's soft, it's sweet, it's floral. I went through a phase, and you probably noticed like that I have a lot of marshmallow scents. I just love the smell of marshmallow. I love it mixed with stuff. I like it when it's smoky. I like it when it's mixed with floral. I just love marshmallow scents. Okay. And then I have two of their estate scents. So these usually typically are a little bit darker than some of the other scents that they have. They're more potent, and I think these are more expensive on their website. And I got Estate Vanilla and Estate Amber. Again, look at the artwork though. It's different on every bottle. And these, it smells like aged amber and vanilla. And again, this smells like aged vanilla and like some wood. It's so beautiful. Oh, and I do want to mention that her fragrances are seasonal. She comes out with new fragrances every season, and then she also takes time off during the year to kind of get it together. So her store and her shop isn't open year round. I will leave her linked down below. I'm not going to link each individual fragrance that I talk about because again, her fragrances are kind of seasonal, but I will leave her linked for you to check out. All right, and then I do have two more, and this one comes out in the fall. It's more of a Halloween fragrance, and this is Gibbons Mischief Night. This one is so interesting because it smells like you are putting your head inside of a bag of Halloween candy. Like you smell the Tootsie Rolls, and you smell like that peanut butter candy, and you smell cookies and candy, caramel popcorn. Like, this is literally like putting your head inside of a bag of Halloween candy. And then also the last one I have is Manor, which is also an aged vanilla. So I love them all. The scents are so interesting, and they are so good about recreating kind of a feeling or kind of setting the scene for you between the illustrations. And I am a sucker. I have said it before and I'll say it again. I'm a sucker for a story. You give me a story and something that I can buy into and kind of like some imagery, and I get more excited about a perfume. Just like if you tell me like an old time Starlet wore a perfume, that I'm more likely to want to wear it. Like, I love a story. So I'm really excited to see what else they come out with. There are also a couple that I wasn't able to get my hands on this year that I have on my list. I absolutely love their fragrances. All right, so moving on, we're now into the teas. And I used to have a lot more of these, but I did sell them. This again is one that I was a sucker for, the story. And these are from Tocca, and each fragrance was named after a different woman or a different type of woman. And so this one is Cleopatra, and then this one is Stella. And I mean, they had some that were, they had Brigitte, which was after Brigitte Bardot. They had like just all, you know, all the fragrances. I ended up keeping the two that I loved the most. And I think I had like 7 or 8 of them at one point. But their fragrances are really good. Sometimes you can find them around $35 to $40 at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. And so if you're curious about them, that's the time to pick them up. All the time I see like the smaller bottles there as well, but like if you see a full size between $30 and $40, I would say pick it up, because I think they retail close to $80. All right, and then I have 3 from Thierry Mugler. I have Alien Goddess, which is a kind of sultry, creamy sort of nighttime coconut scent. And then I have Alien, which is a jasmine scent. And then I have Aura, which is a beautiful green scent. So they're all different. They're all kind of mysterious in their own way. Almost, they're definitely head turners. And I find that Thierry Mugler fragrances tend to be very polarizing. Either you love them or you hate them. Like, you'd never just smell them and you're like, meh. They're very polarizing fragrances. I happen to like most of them, but Angel is one that I struggle with. I do have Angel in the travel size over there, and I struggle with that one because it's a sugared patchouli, but I think with the burnt sugar and then how strong the patchouli is in it, it sometimes tends to smell like burnt plastic to me, just if I smell it like the wrong way, and or I'm not thinking about what I'm actually smelling. It does kind of lean burnt plastic to me. But these 3 I really enjoy. And then I have this from the 7 Virtues, and this is called Vanilla Woods. And I don't get the hype. And maybe I just need to wear it more, because obviously I have not worn it a ton. But like, this was sold out for a while, and everybody was really hyping this up. And I just find it to be okay. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time with it. But like I said, I did that video where I went over about 40 vanilla fragrances, and that one, like, it's kind of middle of the road. I mean, it was all right. This is really fun. This is from Truly, which you can get this at Ulta, and they have discounts on it all the time when they have discounts on the Truly brand, which they have like their unicorn body butter and all of that fun stuff. I even use, they have like an oil that you use for like your bikini area. And they have like, you know, sort of like body butter for your boobs and your butt, like that whole sort of thing. Either way, this smells like cotton candy. It's so sweet. It smells just like their unicorn fruit body butter. So great to layer with your products, but it's very youthful. It's very sweet. And then I have 3 from Tom Ford. This first one is Soleil Brulant, which I guess I can take it out of the box. I don't know why I kept it in the box. Actually, I think I do know why. It's because these bottles like this get so fingerprinted. But here it is. This is honeyed leather. It's such an interesting scent. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this one. I happen to get it on great deal. I set myself up for text messages through the CCO. They have like this program where you can get text messages from the CCO, and they will then show you like a grouping of items. And sometimes there are mystery items, if not, but they still show you the silhouettes. I've talked about this before in videos. But I was actually able to get this along with the Tom Ford cream shadow, a Tom Ford quad, and a Smashbox lipstick all together for $95. And this still retails for like $3.95. And not to mention the Tom Ford quad is worth $90. It was like over $500 worth of stuff for under $100. So I'm always excited anytime they have those deals pop up. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more choosy about it this year, but I mean, I got this on an amazing deal, and I'm hoping that they continue to do those and I can kind of build my Tom Ford collection, hopefully through doing that, and save myself some money. I do have this one from Tom Ford, and this is the Ombre leather. And again, it's a beautiful, crisp sort of leather. It's like a nice, cool leather, not like a deep sort of boozy leather. It's almost like new car. I just really love it. Or like if you get on a leather sofa and it's like cool and, you know, you lay your head on it, that's what it smells like. And then this last one is Tom Ford Black Orchid. I feel like everybody has smelled this at this point and it's been talked up so much, but it's an absolutely lovely fragrance. It's got florals in it, but it somehow also has like resinous notes like myrrh and ylang ylang in it, I believe, or at least ylang ylang I think is in it. But it's somehow still kind of light and crisp, and it's still a clean fragrance while having everything but the kitchen sink in it. I absolutely love this. All right, so now we're into these, and I have two from Victor and Rolf. This first one's been discontinued, and it's called Invisible Oud. Invisible Oud. Autumn, let it go. But again, this is absolutely gorgeous. If you're unable to get your hands on this, I think you would be satisfied with the Maison Lancôme Oud Bouquet, or you would be satisfied with Raghba if you're really trying to do it on the cheap. But it's an absolutely gorgeous sort of soft, incensey oud scent. And then I have this one, which is Flowerbomb, and I bought the petite version. It's just the petite Flowerbomb because it's still like a good amount, and I had a moment of clarity where I'm like, I don't need the full size of every perfume out there. It's gonna take me a long time to get through it. But this is a beautiful sort of berry. It's got like lush, juicy berries in it and florals. So it's a beautiful fragrance. And then I have some from Valentino, or is it Valentino, Valentina, that line. And I have the original here, which I guess I will show you first. This is just the original Valentino Valentina. It's a beautiful floral fragrance, which I feel like almost every fragrance is a floral fragrance. But it's a beautiful floral. It's like a sophisticated floral. And then they came with like their flankers. So this one is the Myrrh Assoluto, and then this one is the Oud Assoluto. And here's the thing. I assumed I would like the Oud more, but I do not. The Myrrh, it's so good, and this has been discontinued. I don't know if they both have, but this one has been because I loved it so much. I was like, I'm gonna need a backup. And I can't get one because they're almost impossible to find online. I have found it through the Walmart website, but they allow third-party sellers, almost like Amazon does. And I really have no guarantee as to whether or not it would be authentic. So that's very unfortunate, but I am going to enjoy it while I have it. And then also though, I need to get rid of a lot of the perfumes that I don't absolutely love, so I can enjoy that before it goes bad. And then I have this from Van Cleef & Arpels. This is Orchid Vanille. I don't get this perfume. Everyone was talking about how wonderful it is, and then I went and I got it, and I'm just like, it's like a soft floral vanilla. It's okay. I wore it to work one day. Everybody was telling me how good I smelled. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't get it. But I'm kind of debating on whether or not I want to keep it. It feels good to have people tell me how great I smell but at the same time, it's more about me liking the way I smell, which I don't dislike it, but there are definitely other things that I own that I think I like more. But again, I'll play around with it more and see how it grows on me. Just to me, it smells kind of like a nothing fragrance. And then I have this from a company called Vacation. And this perfume to me is so interesting because it says scent of the world famous Vacation sunscreen company. And the sunscreen, this reminds me of going to a water park or the pool in the 90s. But like, yes, being out at the pool, but like also like being in like the bathroom, changing in and out of your swimsuit and just kind of running around. Like it has notes of like pool float in it, and sunscreen. I mean, this is wild, but I like it. Like it's a really fun kind of fragrance. But again, if I had to choose, I would probably choose the Bobbi Brown Beach over that one. Now we're gonna get into Versace, and they make good perfumes. I really like a lot of their perfumes, but here's the thing. I think their clothes are super tacky, so I was so surprised that I actually owned this many Versace perfumes and that I liked them. There's only one I'm kind of on the fence about, but this first one is like an oud fragrance, and I literally don't even know what it's called. Let me Google it. I don't see it written anywhere on the bottle. So it's called, I guess, Versace Parfum Oud Oriental for her. This is a less sweet version of the Kayali oud that they just came out with, like that sugared oud. I showed it, was it in the first? It was in the second video. So this is a less sweet version of that. If you find that one to be too sweet, this is great. If you have this and you find that you want something sweeter and that this just has too much oud, it's a little bit too masculine for you, I would say go ahead and try the Kayali one. And then if you don't like the Kayali one, maybe just oud isn't for you. So then there's this, which is the Dylan Blue. And I've had this in and out of my declutter bin multiple times. To me, this just smells like shampoo. It's a nice scent. I don't know why so many people enjoyed it. There's really not a whole lot that's special about it. It's just one of those scents that I could take or I could leave. This is the Eros Parfum. I really like this one. It's like citrus and jasmine and musk, and it's a little bit woody, but to me it's like mostly on the top like a sweet sort of citrus. It's just well rounded. I think it's a beautiful scent. This to me is more of a summer scent. And then I have this, which is Versace Yellow Diamond. And this is also a citrus. I guess you could probably tell by the yellow, but it's citrus and floral, and it has some amber in it. And it's a beautiful light fragrance. Again, this is one of those beautiful office fragrances that I don't think you're going to offend anybody with. Whereas in this one is kind of polarizing, but I love it. This is the Crystal Noir, and I have the Eau de Toilette. They do have an Eau de Parfum that I guess has a little bit more coconut in it, but to me this smells like dried leaves in the fall. This is a beautiful scent that I love to wear in the fall. All right, and then I do have this from Victoria's Secret. This is Very Sexy. To me, this is, it's like if you gave a feminine fragrance the qualities of a men's cologne. It's like, I don't know what's in it, but it smells like feminine notes but made into a men's cologne. Whereas in a lot of the times I find that they're trying to make more manly notes, more feminine, by adding super sweet to them. And then this is like the opposite. The scent to me is addictive. I have been wearing this scent like in body spray form or like this since high school. And I mean, that's been over 20 years now. Absolutely love that. So then there's this. Am I here yet? WX? Yeah, I'm here at the W's. I have one W, and this is from a brand called Who is Elijah, and this is Nomad. So I believe I picked this up through Anthropology, and I just looked at the notes and I was like, I would love those notes. And it didn't even dawn on me. The notes listed were essentially the notes that are prominent in Baccarat Rouge. I get it. And it smells like a Baccarat Rouge dupe. Unfortunately, it's not as good as Baccarat Rouge. And also for a Baccarat Rouge dupe, if you're buying a dupe, you don't want to spend as much as I spent on this fragrance, which was close to $100. So I'm a little bit annoyed in its existence. It's an okay fragrance. I would say it's a little less creamy, a little bit more woody than Baccarat Rouge. So maybe if you are a man and you think Baccarat Rouge is too feminine for you, then I would maybe go for this. And I think that you could get like a similar effect. It still smells beautiful, but it's a little bit more woody and less sweet than the original. And then the last brand I have to show you is YSL. So I will show you the 3 Libres I have, and I also have a backup of this one. It's one of my favorite fragrances. But this is Libre Intense. And then I have the Le Parfum, which recently came out. This has ginger in it. They're all lavender based fragrances, but this one right here is just the regular eau de parfum. So nice lavender, crisp lavender sort of fragrance. Then this one is a deepened version of that one. And then this one is deep add ginger. So they're all different. They're all like a beautiful lavender fragrance. These two are sweeter than this one. This one's lighter than these two. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for, but I absolutely love them all. And then I have this also from YSL, and this was interesting. What is it called again? Parisienne. So this is YSL Parisienne. It's a floral fragrance, but it also has hints of vinyl in it. And I think they were going more for like faux leather smell, maybe kind of like Catwoman suit vinyl, maybe even like a record. But to me, this just reads like floral plus like, I don't know, like, I want to say like school binder or like a cheap makeup bag, like those zippy sorts of makeup bags. The vinyl did not go in the direction that they wanted it to, but when I wear it, the vinyl doesn't really like shine through. I'm gonna spray it. Yeah, it's not super strong. It just kind of gives an edge to the floral. So it's a good fragrance, but again, I would definitely reach for the Libre. I think those are more special, although they're more special, I think, to the nose, and they're different than other fragrances, but I also feel like it's such a popular fragrance right now that everybody's wearing it. So, I mean, you know, whatever, but I love it, so I'm gonna wear it until I get sick of it, which I also found that like a lot of these that I like, so I have backups of not a ton of perfumes, but I have backups. I got a refill for the Killian Love Don't Be Shy. I have a backup of this one, which is the Intense. I have a backup of the Elizabeth and James Black, Elizabeth and James Rose, Sarah Jessica Parker Stash, and I have a backup of the Atelier Cologne Incense Vanille. I think those are all my backups. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, which I should not be a backup person with all this perfume. Why do I have backups? So anyway, this is the end of the video for me going from A to Z, essentially, or I guess A to Y, because I don't have any Z's with my fragrances. If you want to see a video of the body sprays I have, which I don't really have like body sprays, I have like a few in there, but it's like body sprays, and then on that shelf I also have like my travel sprays and my deluxe samples and my tiny samples and my fragrance oils. Those all go on that shelf. If you're curious about that shelf and what's on it, I will do a video, but I just felt like it would be super tedious to go through each thing individually. So maybe I would just show you the highlights or whatever from that shelf if you were curious and you wanted reviews on anything. But this is my perfume collection. hopefully this time next year when I make a new video similar to this going through it, it's not 3 parts, maybe it's only 2 parts in the next one. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed these all, and I will leave every video that I mentioned or anything that is even relatively interesting that pertains to this video linked below, and I hope you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.